Are we live? Oh man, I don't know why it wouldn't let me use the original live that I tried to pull up. I tried pulling up the live thing and it wouldn't let me go in and do it. And I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? So we'll just have to start a new one, I reckon. So, anybody make it in? Oh, this is terrible. Oh, it'd help if I could read the chats, right? Hey, what's up, Uncle Joe? Nomad, what's up, brother? Yeah, I don't know what's up with JJ. He hadn't put out some video in a while. So I don't know. Hey, Jamie, Ridge Runner, Roscoe Charles the third. What's going on, everybody? I don't know how well the lighting is. I need a light right here, don't I? Oh, all I got is this flashlight. I don't know if that'll work or not. Ooh, that's not working. Is that any better? Probably not. At least it'll be bright as heck, won't it? Well, we'll use it till the battery goes dead, and then we'll have to do something else. Anybody wondering what this is? This is my curtain. I don't let it down because if I let it all the way down, it goes behind the seat and then it rubs on the cabinet and you rub a hole in it. So I got it kind of folded up. I was gonna grab another bungee and try to take it up higher so it's not in the photo, but that's all right. And also I tried to do it on portrait or whatever that is, landscape, whatever. And when I went to rotate the camera, it's like, rotate it back, leave it the way it was. I'm like, no, I want to rotate. No, you can't, it's locked. Unlock. How do you unlock it? Anybody know? You can tell I am a live pro. I'm a pro when it goes to when it comes to live feeds. I'm gonna freak everybody out. Watch this. What was that? All right, so I'm at a truck stop and I got the side curtains here and I had to pull them back enough to where I could stick my phone holder to the windshield. Well, I can't close the curtains back because then you wouldn't see me, which might be a good thing. So to keep all the lights from hitting me in the face every time somebody leaves the fuel island, I took down some I had some bunch of placards in the back. So I took a bunch of placards and just stuck them in the windshield behind the phone to block out the light from people coming in when they do the when they get fuel and make that turnaround. So that's what that was. What are we up to? Let's see. Come on, Joe. Is Fuzzy Britches going to run with you during the winter? I might take him out with me a couple trips just because the old air conditioner over here, I might be able to move it to a new location in the truck if I can get me a toolbox, and then that'll clear up all this space over here for him to have his bed and be comfortable. The winters aren't as bad on Ducky because he's got so much fur. He actually loves it and the snow and everything. It's the summers that I don't like to take him out because the pavement is just so hot and the fart knocker will not walk on grass. He'd rather walk on pavement than walk on grass. I've never seen a puppy dog like that before. But so I don't take him out as much during the summer. I used to, but not as much anymore. So, but yeah, I'm thinking about trying to take him out some this winter. MC Rams or M Crams 1. I gotta figure out how to say that name so I don't mess it up. Wish I could zoom this in and out instead of it just being one thing. And I hate this mode it's in. I want to turn it so bad I can't stand it. I wonder what would happen if I hit one of these buttons down here. Save light, share, mute, microphone. What does this one do? Blush beam. What does blush look like? Oh no, that's not good. No filter. What's this one? Something about the comments. Dadgummit. You would think there'd be a way to rotate it, wouldn't you? Without it messing up. What happened? It just says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. How do you unlock it? So I tried rotating it and it says orientation is locked. Now I'm turned sideways. All right, let's turn it back again and see what happens. What's happening now? Am I back upright? Oh, back sideways. Let's turn it back one more time. See what happens this time. We're just gonna play with the phone all night and just upside down. You're turning me, inside out. You're afraid of me. All right, yeah. I guess it is what it is. I hate this daggum thing, and I don't want to exit out and start a new chat. G-Way, what's up, brother? Hey, you need to call me before Wednesday, by no later than Wednesday at noon, because I'll be home by noon Wednesday. So you need to call me before noon on Wednesday, because I got something I need to talk to you about. See if I can, get some information from you. Yeah, it has to be rotated before you go live. My bad. Yeah, I screwed up. Ducky's doing great. He's loving it, loving life. He's at the house with Mama, and he lays right there in front of her on the floor while she's in the recliner. He's laying right there in front of her. And when McGee goes outside to chase a squirrel or whatever, Ducky jumps up in her lap and gets Mama loving. Dude, what are you doing, man? This is the big reveal. I'm supposed to be talking about it. Nobody knows. Nomad, zip it. I swear, you steal my thunder all the time. All right, well, nobody's let the cat out the bag, so I might as well go ahead and tell y'all. I have been on a music tour for the past month. Yeah, I hadn't got to tell them the thing about the music tour yet. No, man. But yes, that's why we haven't been able to do videos. Me and Matthew, Mr. Matt Nomad Trucker, have been on a concert tour with a rock and roll group called Avenged Sevenfold, and it's kind of what their badge looks like, little credentials and stuff. And so we've been doing the concert tour, and I said I would never do one because, well, I didn't say I would never do one. I said I didn't want to do them that went to California, New York, places like that. So I never would do one, right? And then I talked to Matt, and we talked about it, and the money was just incredible. It was, and right now the rates are terrible, and this was a way for me to make guaranteed money every week, same amount, and it was just too good to pass up. And so I was talking to the main guy. I was talking to the next to the main guy, the one that was making the call on whether to bring me in or not bring me in, you know. And I was begging and pleading, and I was like, sir, I promise you my truck will not be an issue. I said, I do more work on my truck than anybody does. I said, everything on my truck is in perfect working condition. You know, the least little thing goes wrong with my truck, boom, I get it fixed right then. I don't play around. I don't patch stuff. I fix it or replace it. My truck is solid. And I said I carry spare parts. I carry enough tools in my truck to rebuild a motor if it needed to be rebuilt. I mean, I got impact wrenches. I got sockets. I got regular wrenches. I got a complete bag. And you can ask Matt. Matt will tell you. And even the guys on the tour were shocked. I got a bag full I had to buy another bag because that one's over full of just electrical stuff. Every kind of wiring you would need to rewire this whole truck, to redo I got extra lights. I carry around an extra alternator. I carry around an air dryer. I carry around belts, filters, ABS sensors. I got ABS sensors. I mean, you name it, I pretty much carry it in the truck. Extra parts and stuff. If it'll fit, I'll carry it. And now I have an extra radiator at the house. So I got a spare radiator. Who has a spare radiator? And then finally I told him, I said, look, man, I said, I even got a spare truck. Now name one guy on your tour that has a spare truck sitting at the house ready to go. I said, all I got to do is call Landstar, boom, activate the Volvo, swap off this and onto that and keep rolling. I said, that truck's solid, it's good. The Volvo, I said, I got a spare truck. I got all these spare parts. I worked my butt off. I said, I got enough ratchet straps to, to fasten anything down. I can get load bars. I can get whatever you need. We put lights up in the trailer. I can do anything you need me to do. And I was just trying my best to get on the tour. And so I think he finally just got desperate enough where he went ahead and took me, And then once I got on the tour, I think he understood what I was trying to tell him. That my truck is good. It's a good truck. It's a solid truck. Because the first thing we had to do was, and see, I didn't know I was going to be on the tour for sure. I knew there was talk. I might get it. I might not get it. So I just kept running, and I got a load from Katie. And we had to go down to Harlington, or however you say that, down near Brownsville down there, Texas, to deliver some deli cases. And I had to deliver that the day after Labor Day. Well, I found out on the way down there that I got the gig to do the tour. So I was like, well, I got to still go deliver this, but we got to be in Vegas on the 7th or 8th to pick up the concert tour equipment, and then head back to West Palm Beach for the first show. So I went ahead and delivered in South Texas, and I just deadheaded all the way to Vegas. And that's a long deadhead. But they paid us from Dallas to Vegas. So, and the amount of money that they paid us was incredible. For that short a distance, Dallas to Vegas, and then the money was more than enough for fuel and everything. And so like I said, I just deadheaded straight on up to Vegas, stopped off and bought load bars, everything I need. Hey, Chasing America's in the house. Got on up there, and by the time I got there, I was short one load bar. It has to be the E-Track load bars that click into place. It can't be the load locks that you ratchet ones, It has to be the actual load bars that click into place. And I bought 2 in Tucson, I bought 3 in Texas, and I needed 6. And when I got to Vegas, I found a guy that had 4 in perfect condition, practically brand new. He couldn't bring them to me to the truck stop because he didn't have a vehicle that they would fit in. So I had to call an Uber. But you can't call a regular Uber. I had to call the big full-size expensive Uber. And when the guy got there, he was in a big Suburban. And I asked him, I said, man, he goes, do you want to do something different? And he said, I can just take you off the clock and we can, you can just pay me directly and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, you're fixing to make some money, okay? But there's some stipulations in it. I said, I need you to take me to this place and bring me back. And I need to carry these load bars. And I showed him a picture of them. I said, I need to go get these and bring them back. And I said they're clean, they're not dirty, they're, you know, they were not going to hurt anything. And he had some stuff he wrapped them up in so they wouldn't hurt damage his vehicle. But he brought me back, so that was like I think close to 150 bucks plus the cost of the 4 load bars. But I had to have at least 6, so that ended up giving me 9. So I had more than enough load bars, more than enough straps, everything I needed. And me and Matt, oh man, it was so hot in Vegas. Oh God, it was hot. And we're up inside my trailer and his trailer, and we had to put these lights up in the trailer. And it was hot, man. He'll tell you, I was about to pass out. I don't see how he could stand it, man. But he was doing good. He worked hard. He put all the lights up, and I was handing him stuff, you know, and he was better balancing on those load bars than I was. And he got everything put up from my trailer and for his. And I'm handing him tools and all the stuff we needed, the little clips, the clip in the wires, and do everything we needed to do. So together we worked good as a team, like I said, and we got all the lights put up, and the boss man got there, and we hung out and talked to him a little bit, and then the next day we did the load out there in Vegas and picked up the equipment we needed, and then headed back to West Palm Beach. Well, before we even left Vegas, the lead driver, the one that was so worried about my truck breaking down, his truck broke down before it even left Vegas. So there was another guy there that hauls the merchandise, and he took the load and started heading towards West Palm with it, and left his empty trailer there because he wasn't going to pick the merchandise up until he got down to West Palm, because they were having it shipped down there, and he was just going to pick it up there. And but he had to, for some reason, he had to ride with us from West Palm out there. I think his brother lives in Vegas, and that's why they were all out there. But anyway, so he took that trailer, and then the other guy finally got his truck fixed and started heading towards West Palm. Well, then in Arizona, another guy's truck broke down. So they're trying to, you know, is he going to make it in time? You know, they're trying to figure all this out. So I think the lead driver got his truck fixed first, and he grabbed, I want to say he grabbed the load and was bringing it on down, and left the empty trailer there with the other guy that was broke down. And so me and Matt, we're teaming back, you know, running together from Vegas back down to Marianna, Florida, because we were going to stop off in Marianna, get our truck serviced. He was going to get some work done on his. I was going to get a little work done on mine, and then we were going to go to my house and hang out for a couple of days, and then go on down to West Palm. Well, we're tooling along. Everything's going great. We get to Dallas. It's late at night, and I hear this high-pitched sound and like a popping sound. I'm like, what the heck is that? But everything seemed fine on the truck. I didn't notice any change in the truck. Everything was fine. So we kept rolling, and we made it over near Longview, over there near Kilgore, where that TA Express is. We got there. We already reserved a couple spots, so we had some spots to back into. And I got back in. As soon as I did, I look at my water temp, and it's up to 206. And I'm like, holy crap. So I switched the truck off and jumped out, and sure enough, all the belts were broke. The clutch fan hub thing was just blowed apart, and so no fan. So it was like, oh crap, what are we gonna do? And so this is where it comes in handy, having an older model truck that isn't super sensitive to every little wire and every little plug and everything that's in it. You know, it's not, I mean, it has a computer, but it's like an old school computer. It's not like these new high-tech computers that have so many sensors on them that it's just insane. So I talked to Philip down in Marianna, and I said, hey man, this is what happened. What should I do? And he goes, I said, I want to try to make it to Marianna to get the fan and everything put on down there with you. And so he said, take the fan off and take the hub off, and just, if you're not going to be climbing any high mountains, you should be good, and you can come on down to Marianna. So we're 650 miles from Marianna, and me and Matt got out there that morning, and he did most of the work because he's skinny and he can reach up in there better than I can. And so he got in there and took the fan off. Then we took the hub off, took all that stuff off, put it in the back of the trailer. And I said, all right, let's give it a try and see what happens. So we crunked the truck up. As soon as we crunked it up, boom, started rolling. Didn't sit there and let it warm up or anything like that because we don't want it to warm up. And so we got rolling, and the whole way, man, from there around Longview all the way to Mariana, it never got over, I think, the most it got up to was 200 degrees. And it got up to 200 just for a couple of seconds when we were going over the big bridge there in Baton Rouge. And it got up to about 200. And as soon as I started down the bridge on the other side, it dropped back down. And for the whole trip, it ran around 190, 192, and the whole way there. And never had an issue with it. And we got to Mariana. I'd already called ahead, had parts waiting. And so I went over there Monday. I borrowed a friend's truck and went over there Monday to get the fan hub and everything and some other parts we needed. And we got the fan hub replaced. And he said, hey man, he goes, Philip, he was looking at it, he goes, it looks like your radiator is leaking a little, not a lot, but it's got some seepage around the seams. And he said, you know, you might need to get that taken, you know, take a look at it. And I said, no. We're not waiting. We're replacing right now while we got all this stuff apart. We're just going to put a new radiator in it. So I talked to Mr. Bill over at the Freightliner in Midway, Florida, 4-state Freightliner. Hey, Trucker for Life. What's up, brother? Hope you're doing better and hope you got your truck fixed, man. That sucked. You get your truck hit like that. But like I was saying, so Mr. Bill ordered me a radiator, had it overnighted. I had it the next day, took it over to Philip, and he got it in for me. And while he was putting that in, I went and hung out with my mom, me and Matt. And but yeah, he got the radiator put in no time. Fan hub, the clutch, fan clutch, all that stuff, and had me ready to go in no time, man. So we didn't really have any problems as far as, I mean, technically, I guess I didn't really break down. I mean, I didn't have to get towed. I was still able to drive the truck. And how many of these trucks with these closed off little snub front noses that are down like that, how many of them are you going to be able to drive with no fan? You know, the way the motor's all enclosed like that, it'll overheat in no time. But with this big truck, you got that big radiator, you got that big opening up there, you know, you got all that air flowing through. It never overheated, and it just kept rolling. And so that's why I love his truck, man. It's old, it's easy to work on. I mean, Philip knocked out he serviced the truck, he did some other stuff, he replaced the fan hub, the radiator, all this stuff. He did it like in 2 days, but the reason it took 2 days is because we had to wait for the radiator. But he never stopped. He worked hard on it, and Philip is an awesome mechanic. Matt, I tell you straight up, man, he's my go-to guy. That's why I try to make sure I can get to the house and get everything done that needs to be done on my truck. Because I trust Philip. Philip does good work. He's there at the TA in Mariana. If you ever need work done on your truck, take it in there to the TA truck service in Mariana, and just tell him, say, hey, is Philip around? And he does really good work, really thorough, really smart, and like I said, I trust him. All the stuff he's done to this truck, he's been great. And I told him, I said, man, if it wasn't for you, I don't know what I'd be doing right now. I said, because it's so hard to find mechanics you trust, you know. But so we hung out for a couple days at the house, and went on down to West Palm, and got down there. We got down there, I think, a day early or so, and we hung out down there. It just so happened Teresa was down there auditing some clinics in Miami, and so on her way back, she stopped off there in West Palm, and we got to hang out for a day or two, and before she had to come back home. And so that was good. We got to see her a little bit. because after that I didn't get to see her again. I still haven't seen her. So that was what was that? I want to say it was the first concert around the 15th of September maybe, or somewhere in there. So it was, I mean, that's how long it's been since I've seen her. I mean, it's been over a month. It's been, by the time I get home Wednesday, it'll be like, I think close to 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks since I've seen her. I've never stayed out that long, but the money was so good. It was just too good to pass up. I couldn't pass it up. So while we were down in West Palm, me and Matt were looking at, and Matt did most of the legwork on this, and he looped me in on it and helped me out with it. And getting a exemption so we could drive in California, because at some point, it was like a month away, we were going to have to go into California, and less than a month, about 3 weeks or so, we were going to have to drive into Sacramento and then down to Chula Vista and then out to Phoenix. This is coming down in to Sacramento from Portland. So he went ahead and applied, and I applied right after he did, and he walked me through it, got me, helped me do everything. We got everything done. We initially applied, then we found out later that we were also supposed to create some kind of account where we loaded information about our truck, all this other stuff. So we got all that done, and then it kind of reset it, and then finally, we got everything submitted. We're waiting to hear back from them, and we're doing the shows. We did, and another driver broke down in Lake City. So there was 3 drivers that broke down, not counting myself. I don't really count mine as a breakdown. I just count it as maintenance while I'm on the drive because I never missed a beat. We didn't have to lay over for a day or two to get work done on the truck. This was already scheduled work that we were going to do. We were going to get the truck serviced. He was going to get a front end alignment and all this other stuff. So we were going to get work done on the trucks and service. So we were just in the shop for an extra day to get that stuff done. But we were already scheduled to be home, so it isn't like we missed anything with the truck being in the shop. It was like it fit right into our schedule, what we already had scheduled. So we didn't miss a beat. And so we had 3 trucks that broke down. The one that broke down in Arizona and the one that broke down in Vegas, they both made it down to West Palm. Well, the other one never made it to West Palm with his truck, and he didn't make it to Tampa. He finally made it to Charlotte, and so they brought in another Landstar BCO, a guy named Corey. Dude he was so nervous, and I was nervous too because I'd never done this. And so me and Corey are both trying to learn and do everything we need to do, and he did pretty daggum good. And he learned what he needed to learn. I was learning what I needed to learn, and he filled in and all the way up to Charlotte. And that's when the other guy came back. He had injectors put in his truck. He had a Volvo, and I knew the deal because I had a Volvo, and I know about injectors because I had in 3 years I put 2 sets of injectors in my Volvo. It goes through injectors, so I knew, what the deal was. But anyway, this guy filled in, so we get to Charlotte, and he's fixing to be off the tour because the other guy's back, Well, then another guy had to take some time off for personal reasons to go home. So when he left to go home for a couple of weeks, or for a couple of shows, for 2 shows, the Charlotte, Atlanta, and then he came back in Nashville. So Corey just stayed on the thing with us, So Corey was there for West Palm, Tampa, Charlotte, Alpharetta, Georgia, and Nashville. Those were the first 5 shows. So in Nashville, Corey was already looking for a trailer. He was looking for something else to do so he could, keep rolling, but not necessarily on the concert tour because the other guy that had to take the personal time was back. Well, we still hadn't got our exemptions to go into California. So Matt, and I hope I'm getting this right, Matt. If I'm getting any of this wrong, Matt, let me know. Correct me. But hey Paul, I don't know if I said hey to you earlier or not, but hey man. But anyway, so Matt said, you know, because Matt lives up there near Nashville, and he goes, you know, I'm at the house, you know, my kids are here, my wife's here, they came to the show and everything, and I still don't have my exemption. I don't know if I'm going to get it, and I don't want to be stuck out in, you know, California, or not California, but Oregon or Washington or Denver, somewhere like that, where I can't get a load and get back to the house. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump off here while I'm at the house, and that way I don't have to worry about it. I can find a trailer, find a load, whatever I need to do. So Matt went ahead and jumped off there in Nashville after the Nashville show. Well, Corey was still there, so they're like, all right, Corey, you just keep rolling. So Corey, the guy that they brought in to fill in for the guy who broke down up in Lake City with the Volvo with the injector issue, now he's filling in for his third person. He filled in for the one guy that did the I think he did what was it, wardrobe and stuff, backline's what they called it, and then the other guy did, I won't say the set stuff, and then Matt, he did audio. So we all had different things. I did video. I had video screens and stuff that they hung up. But so, you know, he hadn't missed a beat. He was, except for the run out to Vegas and back. But he was there from the very first show till Nashville, and so then we went to Louisville, and that was the outdoor festival thing. And then we left Louisville and we went to St. Louis. We had a show there in St. Louis, and then we left St. Louis. We went to Kansas City, and we played there in the T-Mobile Center. And so the whole time, you know, Corey's right there with us. He's doing everything he's supposed to do. He's doing a great job. He's hustling. He's getting stuff done that needs to be done like you're supposed to. He's not missing any of the load in times or the load out times. He's there when he's supposed to be there. And I thought he was doing a really great job, you know. And I'm same way. I'm busting my butt. I'm helping out. I'm helping with other drivers with their trailers and stuff, getting them loaded and unloaded and stuff. Anywhere you can help out, everybody pitches in and helps everybody out, you know. So I'm doing what I think is what I'm supposed to be doing. And so, yeah, we were in Louisville, Paul. Did you remember that festival they had? What was it called? Was it something louder something? I forgot what it was called now. But it was a big festival out there at the fairgrounds, I think it was, or what is that, where they had that Expo Center, I think that's what it was, the Expo Center, somewhere out that way. And so that's where we had that concert there. And then, but like I said, so we get to Kansas City and we do our thing there at the T-Mobile Center. And so we got some downtime, and so we go over to, or I did, and the boss man that makes the decisions on, you know, who stays and goes and stuff, the lead driver, we all went over, or well, me and him went over to, everybody else was invited, but nobody else went. It was just me and him. Went over to Guy Fieri, whatever his name is, restaurant. It was right across the street. And we had dinner. And while we were sitting there having dinner, Matt texts me and he goes, "Hey man, I got my exemption." And he shows me the thing and all. And then I told the lead driver, you know, I said, "Hey man," I said, "Matt got us exemption. Maybe I'll get mine, you know." And I said, so I was just steady checking to see if mine had came through yet. It still hadn't came through. And I told him, I said, "Well, Matt got his." I said, "I'll probably get mine, you know, by tomorrow maybe, or the next day." I said, "Definitely before the end of the week." I said, "If I do get my exemption, I'll be able to finish out the tour, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, man, you know, you get your exemption, you're good. There's no, you know, no problem. You know, you finish out the entire tour." Because from Kansas City, we went to Denver, to Salt Lake, to Tacoma, Washington, and then we went down to Portland, Oregon, and then from Portland we had to go into Sacramento. And we had to be in Sacramento on October the 4th, because they moved the load-in date up to the 4th because they wanted to go ahead and get it done early rather than waiting until the 5th. So we got you know, so after the Kansas City concert, we all took off. You know, you just took off and tried to get as far as you could, stop, take your break, and then go the rest of the way to be in Denver for the next day after that day, and to do the load in. So I stopped off, where was it? Salina, Garden, it was either Garden City or Salina. It was one of those places over there. And stopped off and took my break there, and then went on across. Well, to go into Colorado this time of year, you have to have socks or chains, snow chains or snow socks. So I stopped off in I had been calling ahead trying to find out who had them, and Oakley, Kansas had, at the TA, they had the snow socks. So I stopped off and bought the snow socks I needed. Well, when I stopped there, the lead driver was also there getting fuel, so we both were getting fuel, and he asked me about my exemption, if I got it yet. And this is like 16 hours, maybe 18 hours from when we had just had dinner, the night before. And I said, no, but I'm gonna call him about it and see. I think I'll probably get it. If I don't get it today, I'll probably get it tomorrow. Before we leave Denver, I should have it. And then he told me, he goes, well, man, I got to have it by tonight, or, I got to call somebody else in to take your place. This is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and he's telling me I got 4 or 5 hours to get my exemption, or I'm off the tour. And it's like a punch in the gut, man, because he had just told me the day before, if I get my exemption, I'm good, but he didn't give me a time frame. He right then he could have told me, you got to have it by tomorrow, or you got to have it by Thursday, or you got to have it by Friday. But he never gave me a time frame. He just said, you got to get your exemption. So then I find out the next day I got to have it by the end of that day, which is Wednesday. And so I'm calling, I'm talking to the people. She's like, you're the next one in line. She said you should have it no later than Friday for sure, unless there's some kind of issue or something, but you should have it by Friday, maybe Thursday, because you're next one up in the queue, because they had to go in order and everything, So I told him what she said, and he's like, well, I'm gonna have to bring somebody else in. So he called these other two guys to come in. Well, they're not only replacing me, they're replacing Corey. And that's what I didn't understand, because Corey started with us in West Palm from the very beginning, and he never missed a beat. His truck never broke down. He never had any issues. He did what he was supposed to do. Why are you putting Corey off the show? That makes no sense to me. Plus, he has a T680, so he can go into California. That's no issue. I didn't understand putting him off the tour, because he had as much experience as I had, and you were going to let me finish the tour. And so I thought that was kind of, I didn't like it. I didn't think that was fair. I mean, Corey had worked hard. I had worked hard. I didn't think doing that made sense to me. And the impression I got was that the guys were close by and they were going to jump in and take our place. And couldn't find out, he's like, well, I'll let you just finish the show, at least through Portland. Well, then Thursday, well, no, I take that back. Hold on, back up. So I never talked to him Wednesday night, other than him telling me that he was going to have to bring somebody else in. So then the next day, Thursday, I get my exemption. I called and talked to somebody, and they said, yeah, we know all about it, and here we're going to try to fast track you so you can go ahead and get your exemption. So I had my exemption by, I think, 11 a.m. or noon, something like that, on Thursday. Like 16 hours maybe after he had told me he was bringing somebody else in, I had my exemption. And I said, can't you just let him know, say, hey, no, Rob got his exemption, he's good, you ain't got to come. And he's like, well, no, he already canceled a load or passed up a load that would get him home, because he's from Canada. And those loads are hard to get home. So I offered to pay him whatever it costs for fuel and then some, to get home if I could stay on the tour. And he still wouldn't do that. And I mean, I tried everything I could do to stay on the tour, Well, then when we get closer to, and he says, well, you can go ahead and finish out through Sacramento. So that's how I ended up in California, is I actually finished out in Sacramento. Well, he needed me to finish out in Sacramento as much as I needed to finish out in Sacramento. And because those guys, come to find out, the guys that he was bringing in to replace me and Corey were in Boston, Massachusetts, on the other side of the country. And I didn't understand why you would bring in people from the other side of the country, literally. And they're still on tour. They were on a Carol G tour. And their trailers are still loaded with equipment that they have to return before they can come do this, because the Carol G tour was over in Boston, so that was the last show, and then they had to come to the West Coast, turn in their equipment, concert equipment, and then come on over to Sacramento. And that just didn't make sense to me. Nothing he said at that point appeared to be truthful, because what load did he give up? He was still under dispatch on a different tour, and he still had a week to go. No, I'm not going to talk about that, Matt. No, I don't want to talk about that. I mean, if you want to talk about it, you know, you can, but I'm not gonna. There's some I don't want nobody to lose their lease. You know, I don't want nobody to lose their lease, and that might be something that, if it got back, he might end up losing his lease, and I don't want to go down that trail. I don't want anybody to lose their job. So it just didn't make sense to me that the dude couldn't get another load, or even had a load from the very beginning. Everything he told me from that point on just didn't seem to be as truthful as I thought it was in the beginning when we first were talking about it. And so, you know, I stayed professional. I did what I was supposed to do. I showed up where I was supposed to be. We had another driver that got popped in California. DOT put him out of service. So I never got to see him before I leave, because he was having to get his truck fixed. And so I don't know, my truck, my performance, everything I did from the day I started until the day I left, I think was spot on. I didn't you know, I didn't wimp out. I worked hard. My truck never broke down. I never missed a time in or time out. I was always on time. They never had to sit and wait for me. You know, I thought I did real good. I thought I upheld what I was supposed to be doing, you know, and I got a lot of experience out of it, and I made a lot of good money too. So anyway, I sent a copy of my exemption to Landstar, so I'll be good there to go into California. I also sent a copy of my exemption to the agent and said, hey, you know, if you need me to finish out the tour, I can do it. If you need me, you know, to do anything, just let me know. I'm good for California now. And I said, going forward in the future, I hope we get a chance to work together again. I'm sorry that, you know, I had to leave the tour. I didn't want to leave. I wanted to finish out the tour. And also, you know, let him know that, hey, I got the exemption, I'm good. If you want to maybe bring me back next year, you know, and maybe I could even activate the Volvo, you know, for the West Coast stuff, and then run the Classic on the East Coast or the Midwest. And so that's, no, the exemption was free. It didn't cost anything. There was no kind of processing fee or filing fee that I was aware of. And you have to apply for it every year in January for that year. So this coming January, me and Matt are both going to apply for it in case we get back on the tour again. We'll have up to 1,000 miles that we can drive in California. And I mapped it out. And from the time we crossed the state line, coming out of Oregon, until the time we crossed the state line, coming out of California into Arizona, it was, I think, right around 900 miles, maybe a smidge over that. And so we were going to be good to stay under the 1,000 miles, but we never got the chance, you know. And I was really upset about it, you know. I really wanted to stay on the tour. I was having a good time doing it. You know, I hated being gone from home, but I really enjoyed the experience. I loved the way we used to convoy from show to show. We'd get lined up in a convoy. There'd be about at least 6 of us, 8 or 9, you know, of us, and we'd just be running, you know, together, you know, cutting up, talking on the CB and stuff, like it was back in the old days when I used to truck. And so I had a lot of fun with that part of it. And like I said, the money was just incredible. It really helped me out in a tough time with the economy and everything the way it is right now. This money really helped out a lot. And so if they start up a tour next year, you know, I'm going to throw my name in the hat, and I'm going to try to get on with somebody next year, doing another concert tour. And, you know, overall, these guys were a great bunch of guys to work with. A few of them had some flaws, you know, that they need to work on for sure, especially if they're going to stay at Landstar. But for the most part, most of them were really good guys. They all worked hard. They all, you know, looked out. We all looked out for each other, and so it was a lot of fun, you know. We got catering. So we had all our meals provided for us. We had breakfast, lunch, dinner. They would pack us a sack lunch for when we left that night to go to the next venue. So we didn't have to stop while we were driving. We could eat our sack lunch while we were driving. They did so much for us. It was unreal. They had laundry service where you give them your laundry. They do your laundry, fold it up and everything. Matt had his done. He said they did a great job folding up his laundry. They had showers and everything there at the venue. They had vans that would run you around if you needed to go to Walmart or go somewhere shopping or for anything. It was a really, really cool experience, you know. And the opening act was a guy named Kim Dracula. I guess he's a guy. I don't know if he identifies. I think he identifies as they, them. I'm not sure. And the other one was called Falling in Reverse. That's it, Falling in Reverse. They put on a decent show. They had their own driver also, truck driver that hauled their equipment around. And then the group, like I said, the group I was driving, me and Matt were hauling equipment for was Avenged Sevenfold. And I had never heard of them until I started the tour. And every time I'd mention it to somebody, they'd always say, "Oh yeah, I've heard of them." And I was like, "I've never heard of them. Maybe it's, I don't know." But so it was fun, and I definitely want to do it again if I get the opportunity. But I just had to wait and see, you know. I just wish it hadn't played out the way it did. You know, I wish I had applied sooner for the, you know, if there was a chance I might get the gig. You know, if I'd went ahead and applied for it back before Labor Day, you know, I would have got it in plenty of time. But then again, he might have come up with another excuse, because I think what it boiled down to was the guys that he brought in were guys that he had worked with before that got pulled off to go do the Karol G tour. And they didn't want to go do the Karol G tour, but they had to go do it if they wanted to stay working, I guess. I don't know how that worked. So they couldn't stay on the Avenged Sevenfold tour. They had to go do the Karol G tour. So the way they made it sound was like they got cheated out of some money or something. And I don't know how that is possible, but they did, according to him. But now I'm getting cheated out of money. You know, so somebody's gonna lose out on this deal, I guess. But the guy, I sent the guy a message. It was a sincere message, a sincere offer. You know, I offered him a large sum of money to be able to stay on the tour. I'm not going to say how much it was, but it was more than my mortgage payment. And he did not even answer my message. I sent him the message through a private message service, and he read it. I know he read it. I could see he read it, but he wouldn't reply. And so when I finally got to meet him in Sacramento, we exchanged a few words. I got to see his truck, and basically his truck is the 18-wheeler version of a clown car. It's bright orange with some kind of weird chrome stuff on the front, or the visor and the thing on the side. And he's got like bullhorn things on the nose. And then he's got super singles. And he's got some kind of weird fenders over it. It just, the whole thing looked like a clown car. And so, you know, I told him, I said, dude, you putting all this lipstick on this pig, why don't you just go out and buy you a real truck? If you want to, you know, if you're trying to dress up, make it look like a real truck or whatever. I said, it's never going to be a real truck. It's, you know, it's a Cascadia. And no offense to you Cascadia drivers. I'm sure you love your trucks. But you probably have a normal looking Cascadia. His look more like a clown car. And so I was just, and he was acting like we were going to be friends or something. I'm like, dude, we're not going to be friends. You know, you're taking my job. You never even replied to my message when I made you a sincere offer. And the amount of money I offered him was really good. He could have hung out, you know, it took a week to find him a load, the perfect load or whatever. He didn't have to be in a big rush. He would have had more than enough money. It's just, you know, he wanted to stay on the tour because, I don't know, there's certain reasons I think that go beyond the money why some of them want to be there. And yeah, the production manager wanted to keep him on the Carol G tour, I think that's what it was. And like Matt said, and okay, Matt said a person named Kim Dracula. That's funny. I lost my concentration now. I got reading some of the comments. Yeah, the production manager wants to. Matt asked me what's the worst part of being on the tour. The worst part of being on the tour, Matt? Missing my wife, man. Being gone from my wife. You know about it. Hell, we were both gone because you didn't get to see. You left Nashville and went to Vegas, and then we met up. Just before we got to Vegas, we met up, and then we went into Vegas together, and then we came back out of Vegas together. So all that time you were away from your family, West Palm, Tampa, Charlotte, Alpharetta. Finally, after about almost 3 weeks maybe or something like that, you finally got to see your family again. 2 or 3 weeks, somewhere in there. It was way more than what you were used to, I know. And so I think you probably would agree with me when I say that would be the worst part, being gone from our family. Yeah, it was a good experience. I'd love to do it again. It'd be a lot of fun if I could take Teresa with me. That would make it a lot more fun. If I could take Teresa and the babies, the puppies, that would make it a lot more fun. Or even if I couldn't take the puppies, at least take her. And, you know, she could always catch a flight home or something. She wanted to, you know, go back after being out with me for a couple weeks or whatever. But, yeah, that would make it so much better if I didn't have to leave her behind. Yeah, it was fun while it lasted. Yeah, you would enjoy it, I think. I don't know, Truck for Life. You might not enjoy it, man, because you have to have patience. You can't get upset. You can't and you definitely can't. Certain opinions you have to keep to yourself. You have to just nod and go, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am. Or actually, you don't even say sir and ma'am. You go, yes, yes, yes. No, no, no. Because you don't want to take a chance on misgendering anybody. Yeah, I'm not too bent out of shape about it to the point where, I was going to do something stupid or anything. So, let's see what he said. Yeah, that's why I said I stayed professional. And I know when I left Sacramento, they had to empty out my trailer. Well, normally my trailer is not empty. There's always some stuff that gets left in it that they don't use. And so now they had to empty it all out because I was leaving and the other guy was coming. Well, the area that we were unloading the trailers was very small. There was limited space. So the production manager, one of them, the guys that worked the dock back there, tell you where to take everything to, he was a little upset because he had to unload my trailer. And he made a comment about, the driver don't want to be on the tour, why is he here, or whatever. And so a couple of the guys I was friends with, I went to him and I said, hey man, I said, you need to let him know, say that I didn't want to leave the tour. I'm being put off the tour to make room for the other driver, the lead driver's friends to come take over. And I want to stay on the tour. I tried my best to stay on the tour, and then finally they're like, you need to tell him yourself, so he knows. And so I finally called him off to the side and I explained it to him. But I tried to explain it to him, but he was running around trying to do so many things. I don't think he understood exactly what I was trying to tell him. But I did not want to leave the tour. I was being put off the tour to make room for other people. And if I was dragging, or if there was an issue with the way I was doing things, I would say, yeah, bring in those guys that got more experience. It makes sense. But I never missed a beat. And this was when we were having a tough back end up in Nashville, up there in the Bridgestone Arena. That was pretty tight, backing in up there. Backing in Denver, that was kind of tight. Some of the other places that we had to go to, it was some tight places, and I never missed a beat. I was able to back in everywhere we needed to back in, and so I didn't think there was an issue with the way I was doing my job. I thought I did a good job. And he even told me, he says, yeah, man, we're going to need, about 100 trucks next year. He said, make sure, you got your name in the hat and you're ready to go next year, So, so we'll see if it works out next year. I have not heard about any Landstar drivers being on that tour. My guess is they probably have a professional crew that's all they do is concert stuff, probably working her tour, because there are companies out there like that. If you follow my channel and you've seen me talking to or mentioning a guy named Jason Perry, he also has a YouTube channel called This Tour Life. That's what he does, concert tours, and all he does is the concert tours. But he does it as a company driver. He doesn't own his own truck, which is good because then he doesn't have to worry about breakdowns and all this other stuff. Makes really good money. He loves it, and his wife travels with him. And so he gave me and Matt, he gave both of us a lot of advice. He gave us a lot of inside information to help us out at some of the places we were going, some of the venues, and it really helped out a lot. And I really appreciate Jason, man. He really helped out a lot. I really appreciate it. And so but the company he works for that does that, that's all they do is concert stuff. Now, when COVID hit and the concerts had stopped, they were doing general freight just to keep everybody working so they didn't have to lay people off. But hello from Russia. Oh man, that's a long way off. Yeah, Upstage is one. Seemed like there was another one with the word stage in it, on stage or something like that. I forget what it's called now. I saw them in Louisville. Oh, excuse me. Stage Call, that's it. Stage Call. I saw them in Louisville. Who was it? They were. Oh man, I forgot the name of the. It's somebody you've probably heard of. I've heard of them. I can't remember the name now. Who they were doing that concert for, or who they were hauling for. But Landstar has different agents that also do this, and so Landstar stepped up and went out and got the insurance that they needed to get to be able to do the concert tours. So now more agents are going to be doing them, and so hopefully this will be something I'll get a chance to do next year, especially if it's paying anywhere close to what this one paid. I definitely want to do it, especially right now with freight rates being down. You know, it's so hard, and that was a huge mistake for me. Looking back on it now, was I got a load out of Reno coming back to Wisconsin, which was awesome. I went to pick up the load and the load had canceled. So that was on Thursday. I should have waited another day and tried to get a load out Friday. And then worst case scenario, if I had to lay over, you know, maybe go down to Vegas or do something to try to get a load rather than taking that load to Bozeman, Montana. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the ride up to Bozeman. It was beautiful. A lot of scenery, got to see a lot of stuff, a lot of video, and there'll be a lot of videos coming out in the next 2 or 3 weeks of driving up through Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Fargo, North Dakota, South Dakota, all down through there. I got a lot of video footage, so I'll be putting out more of that. But I ended up having to deadhead from Bozeman all the way over to North Dakota to pick up a load to come down to Dallas, you know. And then I got a load out of Dallas going back to Nashville. So I'll be delivering in Nashville tomorrow. It was a lot of fun, man. We had a lot of fun, me and Matt did. I was Matt's private barista. I made the coffee and provided the coffee, and Matt did everything else. But I did the tease in the one video about having a personal mechanic traveling with me. Well, that was Matt. Matt was my personal mechanic. He's really handy with working on the trucks and stuff, and so it was awesome having him with me, with us helping each other out with our trucks and stuff, because we both have the same kind of truck, you know, the old Freightliner Classics, and so we're able to work on them ourselves, and he did a lot of work, really helped me out a lot, and I wouldn't even been on the tour probably if it wasn't for him. Well, I wouldn't have been. No, I wouldn't even known about it or nothing else. So Matt, I owe everything to Matt for getting me on the tour, and so I really do appreciate everything he did for me, helping me get there, and hopefully I'll be able to get myself back there next year. But yeah, it was great having somebody that, you know, had some mechanical skills when it comes to turning wrenches, and so we were able to work on my truck, and I can't remember if we had to do any work on his truck or not. I don't think we did. I think his was pretty good. We had to do that, take that fan and that hub off, but other than that, we didn't have to do a whole lot with mine. I think we had a little bit of issue with the leveling valve for the sleeper. I'm still working on trying to get that figured out. But yeah, it was great having Matt with me, man, and us working together. What this is? Oh no, I owe you a lot, man. I appreciate it, brother. Oh yeah, the oil pressure system. We tried to wire. Well, Matt, I mean, we were both kind of thinking the same thing, and we hot wired my solenoid that turns the clutch fan on and off, so that the fan will not run when I'm going down the road unless the engine gets hot. Then the fan will click on, you know. Well, we hot wired it to try to get it to disengage, and then I could just turn on the switch, and when the truck started getting hot, and turn the fan on, you know. And it worked good to start with. And then when I went to leave, my oil pressure light came on. Oil pressure sensor was going crazy, and we couldn't figure out what it was, you know. So I drove it all the way to Tallahassee, bought a new oil pressure sensor, put it in, and it still did it. And then finally I was like, take it loose, because it didn't start doing this till we started messing with the wiring. So we unplugged the wiring, and boom, it was fine, no issue. So that's all it was. It was probably electrical back feed that went back into the ECM, and it threw it out of whack, and was causing the sensor issue probably. So we'll figure something else out. Peacock Wiley tells lies. Who's Peacock Wiley? Oh, there he is. Nah, Matt's a good guy. He knows what he's doing. Yeah, that was some good coffee. We had Black Rifle coffee, so it was good. Yeah, I'd love to do another tour, and it would be awesome if Matt, since he's got more experience than me, if he could actually get in there as the lead driver guy. That way I could suck up to the lead driver and actually have a shot at staying on the tour. But I'd love to be able to do a tour that didn't go to California. That would be awesome. But now that we know how to get those exemptions out in California, hopefully we'll be able to get one next year so we can run out there. Wow, I cannot believe I have been rambling on talking about this concert crap for 67 minutes. Holy crap. What? But anyway, thank you everybody that came and joined me on the live feed tonight to find out what I've been doing the last 6 weeks or so. Most of it has been on the concert tour, and so that's where I've been. We went, like I said, we went all the way out to California. It got cut short in Sacramento. I think the guys are still touring. I want to say they're doing Fort Worth tonight, and then they're up in Michigan in a couple of days. And I think they got a makeup show to do in San Diego. And I think that'll be the end of the tour. And then they're taking off until, I think until January or February. So, we'll see what happens then. But I would not buy a new truck to stay on the tour. I wish I could find somebody that I trust to drive the Volvo, so I could activate it and have that truck and this truck both active at the same time. And then, you know, it's not hard to find loads to get you in certain areas when you need to be there if you know what you're doing. And so it would be great to, you know, if I had to go into California and my exemption wasn't good enough to get me through there, I needed more miles or whatever, to be able to just swap out with whoever's driving a Volvo, run it through California, do what I need to do, and then swap back out when we came back out, you know, something like that. But no, I would not go out and spend $100,000, $200,000, whatever it costs for a new truck. I wouldn't even buy a used emissions truck, to be honest with you. I got the Volvo, and so I can use it if I need to. And I know what's going on with the Volvo. I mean, I know what kind of shape it's in because I've done so much work on it. I know what kind of shape it's in. And Matt, I tell you, we were there at the house, and I walked over, hit the key on the Volvo, she crunk up just like that. You know, sounded good, no issues. And so the Volvo's in good shape. It's a good truck. And I just don't want to run it for an entire concert tour, you know, just because I don't know. I don't have as much confidence in it as I do the Classic, you know. So Tesla truck. I saw a Tesla truck. It was broke down. I think I was talking to Matt or either Joey. I can't remember. Joe, my other buddy. I was like, damn, there's a Tesla. Or one of those electric. It might not have been a Tesla, but it was an electric truck. And it was broke down. And they were out there looking at it. And I was like, I bet that damn thing needs charging. So no, hell no. You'll never see me in an electric truck. Not any kind of electric anything. Except maybe an electric blanket. I might sleep under an electric blanket. That's about it. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here because I've been dragging you guys around for over 70 minutes. Holy crap. But I really appreciate it. So we're all caught up now. You know what's been going on for the last 6 weeks. And concert tour, yeah. Avenged Sevenfold. And it was a lot of fun. Got to do it with my buddy Matt, Nomad Trucker. And my hands are cold. It's so cold. It's like ice. But yeah, I got to do it with Matt. And that was probably the best part of the tour, was just being able to hang out with Matt. We'd take Ubers and go do stuff. And, you know, we had to go get parts or go get this or go get that. And we'd hop in an Uber and take off. And we had a lot of fun, you know. It seemed like it flew by. I wish it had lasted longer. But yeah, that was probably the best part of being on the tour was getting to hang out with Matt and everything. And it's good when you got a good friend with you there doing all that. So that was probably the best part of the tour. I'm getting sappy on you, ain't I, Matt? He's probably on the phone talking to his wife by now. But I need to do the same thing. It's getting late. It's already after 9 o'clock Central Time. So thank you guys so much for coming along. We're going to be putting out a video first thing in the morning, so don't miss it. It's going to be going into Yellowstone. Yeah. We're coming out of Idaho, and we're going to be going through Yellowstone, Montana. So some awesome footage. Don't miss it. Some good music. And that video will be released first thing in the morning. And then we got about 3 more coming out right after that, that I'm going to get out. But like I said, you won't see a lot of me, but you'll see a lot of Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, North Dakota, places like that. You'll see a lot of footage, and it's just the most beautiful place in the world. It's just gorgeous up there. I wish I could win the lottery so I could go up there and live during the summer. Do some fly fishing and stuff. Not during the winter. Heck no. Back to Florida for the winter. But yeah, so y'all get ready for those videos. They'll be coming out. And then hopefully by the time Thanksgiving gets here, we'll have some back to hauling freight videos. I'm gonna try to put some of those out. And so yeah, y'all get ready. I'm hoping and praying I can be able to get out a lot of good videos. Yes, I will be home by Wednesday, and I can't wait to get there. So, but anyway, thank you all so much for coming along. I really appreciate it. And yeah, so we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all stay safe. Don't give up. Always keep moving forward, and always keep punching.